brought, with me, ladies and gentlemen, no longer doctor, now Professor Helen Paul.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, doctor.
With your many AKs.
Plenty.
What do you think about Valdosta, by the way? This is your first time?
It's my first time in Valdosta and I love it. It's very quiet, good family environment. I love the fact that it's mixed neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not just a particular neighborhood. You can kind of say, okay, it's all this color, it's all this country, everybody's together. Yeah. So I love it here.
We're doing this virtual open house for you, and the goal is to show you both the internal side of the 3-bedroom, and then we'll still go out to show you the outside. So this is the living room, and it has an open kitchen.
Okay, so the kitchen is next to the garage. Okay, so from the garage straight to the kitchen. So that's it.
Hello, smart investors. We are here live at Garnet Estate, Ibeju Lekki, and something amazing is happening here today. We are doing the allocation and official launching of our estate. And here with us, we have some amazing clients who bought into this estate early. With me, I have Mr. Raphael, who is representing Mr. Ovo. And sir, you've been here for some time, and then you witnessed the whole event, and I'm happy you got the documents. Yeah, the property, the documents. Okay, yeah, that's it. He got the documents, and sir, how was the experience today?
I feel excited because of the swiftness, the fastness of the procedures, and the title of the land, governor's consent. So I'm excited. He bought and he got it almost immediately. Under 3 months, I'm excited. So company we sell land for you for over 1 year on allocation. So for GTS, I think they're top notch.
Thank you very much, sir. So the sweetness is something to talk about, and the fact that integrity is key when it comes to GTX land. And I have to hear my colleagues who have something to say.
All right, amazing. This is Engineer Raphael. When I got the information that Mr. Ovo will be sending his representative right down to Lagos, I was so excited to actually have him here as well. So I said it. I don't have enough to say again because for a client to really say they got some stuff just under 3 months, for them to testify, right? That's actually shows that you are partnering with a very good company, right? We actually have something to say. I should just telling other clients. So, Mr. Raphael, what do you have to say to other clients that are still, in this skeptical realm that, okay, should I? What do you have to tell them?
I always say that land, the thing that you invest on and you don't regret. Land will always appreciate. And for this place in Ibeju Lekki, this area, it's good to go. Because land, you buy land and wait. You don't wait to buy land. You understand? So it's a good investment. If you are still waiting, still fascinating, please wake up and buy now.
So wake up and buy now. That's just it. And see you later.
Welcome to GTEX Land, where every corner is a masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Step into the serenity of Jasper Estate, your haven in Ibeju Lekki. Feel the sand beneath your feet at Beryl Beachfront Estate, your coastal retreat. Experience the charm of Sardius Farm City Estate, where nature and community blend seamlessly in AP. Discover elegance at Sardius Estate, in Ijebu Ode, where modern living meets tradition. Live in luxury at Beryl Forta City, Kurudu's premier destination for urban living. Find your dream home at Prime Rose Estate, where sophistication meets comfort in Ibeju Lekki. Experience luxury living at Sardius Estate in Port Harcourt, where every detail is designed for your comfort. Escape to tranquility at Jasper Estate in Isheri, your peaceful sanctuary. Discover perfection at Sardius Estate in Guzape, Abuja, where luxury meets lifestyle. Indulge in elegance at Beryl Polo Estate in Asaba, where every moment is a celebration. At GTEX Land, we don't just sell properties, we secure your future. Welcome to your new beginning.
Hello everybody, this is Bukola Adigbola and I am making this short testimony about GBest. I have invested with them for the past 3 years and it's been a good time with them. They are very reliable, they are dependable, I have peace of mind and I have my return for my investment every year. And as they have said, they are very dependable, they have professionals, their staff are respectable, they are very professional, they are very loyal, they have integrity, and I have peace of mind. I am not sleeping and I'm like, hey, where is my money? What has gone on with my investment? This is just a short testimony. They are very reliable. I will forever do business with them. Thank you. Bye bye.
My name is Abaramola Milekon James. My personal experience with Gvest Cooperative has been great, positive and convincing. Although I had my doubts when I first joined the year 2022, basically because of some botched business exploit. But thus far, Gvest investment has proven to be very dependable. ROI is paid as at when due, and then the employees of the company also maintain constant communication with investors. And these have bolstered my resolve to sustain this partnership. As a matter of fact, the existing business circle will attain maturation next month, and I've decided to renew my business plan, even by increasing the entry fee. In all, I only pray for wisdom, for continuous growth, and positive, to continually make positive impact on the management team. Thank you.
Welcome to GTEX Holdings HQ here in the US of A. And we're excited because this is not just ending here with this building. Opposite us, we intend to build a 6-story office complex. And of course, we hope over time we grow bigger and bigger and bigger. The beautiful thing is, as we expand with our $200 million expansion here in the US, you can join us and invest. With as little as $20,000, you can have a slot. And as we begin to roll out the cash flow from the rental income of office space like this one, which is commercial real estate, or the development we're doing in Tidwell, or the development we're doing in Richmond, and the one in Brookshire, and many multi-family projects we're investing in, you are able to earn passive income for yourself and your family and do great things that you desire. 4 years down the line in our business, 9 years in the development industry, I've worked hard every day to make sure we never let down any single investors that invest with us. We've always had to pay back in return on investment, as well as giving people capital back. And today we are counting millions of dollars that's gone back to various investors in our syndication, whether back in Africa, whether in Dubai, and now here in the US. So, welcome to the family as you invest and you get good money for your investment. Remember, the only true source of financial freedom is passive income. Being able to make your money work for you, being able to have a trusted partner that you give your money and then they go do business with your money, and part of their profit they are willing to share with you. So, I love you, and we're sharing the money together. Love you, bye-bye.
The major secret I have learned that has made me successful in business is that
Okay, good day everyone. Technical, can you make me, can you spotlight me so everyone can see me? Technical, can you make me a spotlight? Fantastic. Good day everyone. Good morning in the US. Good morning wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Farouk Usman, and I'm your host for today. First of all, I want to say happy new month to everyone watching us now. This month of June shall be a wonderful month. Today is the 1st of June, and today I pray God help you all. Whatever goes you set in the year, this is a month for you to reflect and catch up to the half, whatever you're chasing, whatever you invested aside for yourself, whatever target you set for your individual, for your spouse, time to reflect on it. And once again, I wish you all happy new month. Just to greater heights. Power Pack. And today we're learning about the ABCs about real estate investment in the US, in Nigeria, in Dubai, in UK, in whatever you're going to invest about. So today you're going to learn about the ABCs. And just like ABC was the first thing in school when they were teaching us A, B, C, D, E, F, G, as it applies, it's the same reason why we'll name this webinar the ABCs of real estate. What are the things that you need to learn before you invest in? So there are different types of people in this webinar. I don't know whether you're the kind. The first part are those that are here for knowledge. They just want to know about real estate because they are passionate about it. Second type of people in this webinar are investors, those that have already invested. Perhaps you've invested in Nigeria, you want to learn how to invest in the US. You've invested in the US, you want to learn how to invest in UK. If you've invested in the UK, you want to learn how to invest in Dubai, in Qatar. Basically about what? Diversification. And it's quite important to learn more about investing in different parts of the world. And that's why today we're having this power packed webinar. Um, I'm your host for today. Conveyor of this event is our chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. So before we bring on Dr. Your name and where you're joining us from, so that I can greet you all. So Mr. Ibuka says, I'm not loud enough. Okay, let me see.
Is it better now? I believe it's better. If you can hear me, just type I can hear you, so I can be sure. If you can hear me, just type I can hear you, I can hear you. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, type I can hear you. I can't see any response. I need to be sure people can hear me. Can you hear me? I need to see response, please. Okay, we can hear you loud. Fantastic. So please just type your name and where you're joining us from so I can greet you all, pending when we have others join us in this webinar. Please, as you're seeing this link, please share to as many people as possible. Knowledge should be shared. Knowledge should be learned. You're only better than the next person next to you. As more knowledge as you can pass across, it just makes us better persons. So please pick up the link. If you're watching this on Facebook, share to as many groups as possible. Share your timeline. If you are joining us on YouTube, share to as many people as possible. If you're on Instagram, please share. And we are on this Zoom webinar as well. You can also share this link so people can listen to us. Mr. Ifeanyi says the chat box is disabled. Technical, please can you set it so they can chat us back? Mr. John says, I'm John from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. You're welcome, Mr.
Okay, I can see Mr. Ifeanyi's chat now. Please, you can now you can send me your chat now. Thank you so much for the information. So tell us your name and where you're joining us from, and please share this video as much as possible. We have Mr. Godwin from Nigeria, Mr. Joseph Promise from Abia State. Wow. Mr. Ifeanyi Chukwu Uzuma Igwe from Ogun State. You're welcome, Mr. Ifeanyi. I'm Joshua from Abuja. Fantastic. I believe this is a global webinar. So I need to see people join us from the US, people join us from the UK, people join us from Dubai, people join us from China. I know you are here. Please just send me your name and let me know where you're coming from. Yusuf from Ibadan. Fantastic. I'm Samuel from Benin. That's great. That's great. Can we see more people? More people, more people? Mr. Onifade from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also in Lagos, Mr. Onifade. How is the weather? Adesuji Abiodun Adetoye from Oshobo, Osun State, Nigeria. Mr. Abiodun put everything in full. A proud Oshobo, Osun man. Mr. Emeka Modesti from Ibadan. You're welcome, Mr. Emeke, sorry, or Emek, sorry. I just assumed it was Emeka. But fantastic. So we're all learning to learn today. We're here to learn about the ABCs, about real estate. Miss Favor Metu from Imo State. That's good. There are a lot of places in Nigeria I love to visit, particularly places like Imo State, Akwa Ibom, um, Abia State as well. I've not been to a lot of places in the east, but I've been around the southwest. I've been about northern part. I've been to Port Harcourt. I've been to Calabar as well. Rhoda from Lagos. You're welcome, Lagos. Rhoda. Reni Nwako from Lagos. Mr. Musa from Maiduguri. Mr. Musa, you're welcome. Particularly when Dr. Sini shares his grassroots story, he will tell you that he was raised up and around the northern part of Nigeria, which was Maiduguri. So you're welcome, Mr. Musa. Glad to have you today. So back to business. My name is Farouk Usman once again. I'm your host for the day. And I'm here to basically, we're here to give you a lot of knowledge and tell you about what you need to know about real estate. Perhaps you've invested. What are the things that you've gotten right? What are the things you've gotten wrong? You understand investment in Nigeria. How do you want to diversify your income? Not only that, for those of you particularly have already bought properties, right? How do you want to make sure you are using the highest and best use of your properties? Perhaps you started something in the US, you bought the land. How are you going to develop it? You want to understand what we call fix and flip. You want to go into shortlist. What do you need to know? There's a popular term people always say, location, location, location. What are the things you need to know about location, particularly in 2025? There are a lot of developers all over the world currently. How do you tap into those developers when it comes to buying land, building of houses? What other businesses can you do? What do you need to know about REI, Real Estate Investment Trust? Basically, this is a power packed webinar, and that's why we are bringing this to you today. So, just to get a bit of feedback, Mr. Abdullah from Kano, welcome. Which part of this training today do you really need more information on? So are you interested in the US? Are you interested in the UK? You want to understand about Dubai, about Nigeria, so I can understand which part of this webinar today you focus mainly on and if we're able to answer your questions. So we can drop. We have Shooks from NJ. I believe that's New Jersey, I believe. So just tell us what part of today's webinar are you really interested in? Are you really excited about learning about the US market? Are you excited about learning the Dubai market, the UK market, or the Nigerian market? Technical, please look out for our group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz, so you can bring him up as a panelist as well. As soon as he joins, please let us know. Mr. Emmanuel, your hands are up. Can you just type on the chat box so that I can answer your question? Good evening, I'm Isaac joining from Ogun State. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Isaac. You're welcome, Mr. I'm waiting for your responses, please. Just tell us what part of this training do you really want to focus on? Are you really interested in knowing about Nigerian real estate? Are you interested about knowing US real estate, about Dubai real estate, about the UK real estate? Which part of this training are you really, really excited about learning? Mr. Isaac says, I want to learn about real estate, how to invest, and how to invest in Nigeria. Besides, this one he said it twice. You must be very passionate about investment in Nigeria. Mr. Adesuji Abiodun says, I'm interested in Nigerian markets. And it's quite interesting. The Nigerian real estate landscape is something you always have to relearn, and relearn, particularly when you're dealing with a very technical case like Nigeria. I say the way we do real estate in Nigeria is so different from what we do outside the country. Particularly what you need to know about the real estate laws, about land banking, how to deal with developers, how to work with contractors, what you need to do, what you need not to do, particularly when you have rumors around going around Lagos State, um, breaking some houses. You need to understand what you need to know before purchasing a land, purchasing a house, so you do not fall into those victims, right? Particularly when you're buying a house, how do you ensure your land or your house is not on a drainage, is not on a major highway projection, is not on some part of the government scheme or not. So you don't end up falling for the wrong people. And that's why before you can buy anything in Nigeria, particularly real estate, you have to understand the market. What I think you really, really need to look out for. Joseph promises I'm interested in real estate in Nigeria. Do you really have people that are interested in real estate in Nigeria? I believe some of you must have been interested in the US market, in the UK market. Oh, we should just talk about Nigeria today. Maybe I'll just talk to Dr. Phil to only speak about Nigeria because I think everyone here is only interested about Nigeria. So, in one more, just let us know so that we can understand what your focus is about. Um, okay. Sorry, I didn't see your messages. I'm seeing more. Um, I Adaisi, I'm interested in Nigeria and the UK real estate. How to invest in both? Fantastic. So you from UK, I'm interested in Nigeria and the UK market. I'm interested in real estate market and management, Mr. Cousin. Management is quite important. Interested in international market, Emmanuel Adebayo. Interested in real estate in and out of Nigeria, Mr. John. I want to learn more about real estate, the risk, constraints, profitability, what to look out for, and the prospects in the next 10 years, and how to raise money to invest, documents to look out for, etc. Mr. Isis, you need to subscribe to a full course, right? You need to subscribe to a full course. But we'll do our best to touch all these points. I'm interested in how to maximize your opportunities in the real estate market. I want to learn and know more about real estate, possibly the four locations you mentioned. I'll throw in a bonus today. We can also look at other places in the UAE, in Dubai. Apart from Dubai, there are new emerging places like Qatar. So, we're in Doha a few weeks ago, and what we also realized in a place like Doha is that Doha, Qatar is about 15 years of what Dubai used to look like 15 years ago. So if you're looking at diversifying your investment, UAE is a very fantastic location. I'm interested in real estate in all four locations. You get all that today. But before we further go into the real topic of today, I'd like to invite someone. He's our group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz, and he's going to be speaking with us in a moment. This man is our group CEO. Yes, he's our group CEO. He's an investment banker, a CPA. He has consulted and worked with likes of Deloitte, a lot of the big four. He's a trained financial expert, a serial investor. He brings his wealth of knowledge in different continents in the world. Currently, he's in our office in Dubai. He's also in Germany, in the US. He was in Nigeria last year, and I look forward to having him in Nigeria again this year as well as Doha. Please, with a sounding round of applause. Please welcome our group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz, for him to speak to us for a minute. Please clap, clap. Let's give me a warm embrace, please. Just tell me you're welcome, Mr. Rana. You're welcome, Mr. Rana, so you can come up. Mr. Rana, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Farouk, for the introduction, and it's wonderful to have you all. I think let me give you a brief of my introduction. My name is Rana Ijaz. I'm Group CEO for GTEX Holdings. I'm a qualified certified public accountant from US and have an MBA degree. So been to the real estate and financial domain for more than 25 years. I'm an investment and corporate banker. So I joined Group GTEX 2 years back. So I lead the team. Currently, I'm based in Dubai at the moment. So I look at the overall global operations. So it's good to have you all on the call. I just want to touch base few things. When you talk about real estate, so there are few fundamentals, wherever you buy your real estate, When you talk about investments, so as an individual, you have different options on hand. You can always invest in gold, stocks, uh, you have hedge funds, you have cryptos. So you have all those kind of uh, investment available options. You can always have your fixed deposit in the banks. But whenever you are weighing the investment options, I think you have to consider few fundamental factors, which I would like to discuss with you. Number one is security of your investment. Whatever you are planning to invest, or wherever you are planning to invest, is it secured? And what kind of returns you are going to achieve over a certain period of time. So there's a host of available options for as an individual you have as an investor, but what differentiate really real estate, it is some investment which covers all the angles. It is something tangible. It is something for the capital growth and capital appreciation. It is transgenerational. It is a multiplier in growth, and it has, of course, its risk parameters, which I'm going to touch base. You have to manage those risks, but it is something always has been a winner around the globe and around the time. So whenever you buy a real estate, or particularly when you plan to invest into real estate, you have to consider a few fundamental factors. Here I'm not talking about GTExt only, but I want to educate you with a few options. So whenever you choose any investment, you have to see which developer you are going to purchase through. Is it credible? They have some history, some background, because you always want to weigh the options, because whenever you choose the options, you will have a lot of players in the market. So you want to go with someone credible, who has history, who has delivered some projects in the past. This is number one criteria. And secondly, location, of course. Location is a prime factor which will play a longer role in your capital growth. Again, if you are someone who looking for the long-term hold, you can always go into the pre-development kind of lands where you can invest money, where you will have a long-term growth, and you can buy a bulk land maybe. With the same investment, maybe you can buy a ready property in a developed area. Again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Be smart. Always diversify the locations within a country. For example, what in the GTEX what we offer to our clients, we have different estates all over Nigeria. We have in Lagos active projects. We have a construction projects. We offer land banking solutions. We offer service plots. At the same time, we have in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Asaba, and we are expanding into the Northeast as well. So not only that, GTEX is a global business now. So we always offer our clients solutions to invest across the Pan-African continent. We have wonderful properties in Dubai, and Dubai needs no introduction. When we talk about Dubai, is a place to go for. It's a world-class city. One of the prime example, the city was built 40 years ago, but is one of the best city in terms of life standards, available opportunities. The real estate here is a booming industry. And at the moment, there's so much attractive offerings on the plate at the moment as well. So if you want to diversify something outside Nigeria as well, we do offer, and we can facilitate. Our team on the ground can give you the wonderful options. You get a host of benefits. You can get your golden visas along with the family, and long-term security, capital appreciation, and an investment in a secure region. Not only here, 2 years back, we expanded our foot into US operations as well. We're already in the US for the last 2 years, building a $200 million worth of project in Houston. So I'm sure the team can share the details with you. Other than that, we are expanding our operations into Doha as well next month. So look forward to meet personally lots of investors in Doha. Uh, so the fundamentals of investment: diversify, do your risk assessment criteria, go with the people who are trusted and have the background. I have seen over the time, because even Dubai has grown in stages. There was a Dubai pre 2008. Dubai was altogether different scenario where regulations were not that stringent. When the financial crisis of 2008-9 hit in Dubai market, it started in the US with the Merrill Lynch crisis, but it was a global financial crisis that affected the market. So Dubai particularly has learned a lot from that time. A lot of regulations came. Something called RERA came into existence, Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Dubai Land Department came up with the new set of rules. No, they came up with the escrow account concept. All the developers, they can only receive money through escrow accounts, so investors are safe in case of any developer's default. So all these legal structures in place, they ensure your investments are safe with anyone. So in Dubai, you can easily invest with any good name in any development projects. So without any having risk of losing your money. The second important aspect: do you have enough money to buy real estate? I think here where most of us struggle. You always don't have enough money to buy a particular property or project. So here here is the financing element comes in place. So what I would advise, you will never have enough money to buy a property in bulk. By the time you are trying to accumulate your savings, the property prices will have gone maybe double or triple or 4 times. So how to catch up with this? So to ease this up, there are a lot of financing options. If you can have some bank along with you, that's a wonderful idea. But as a developer, as many other developers are offering in the world, we in the GTEX are offering also flexible payment plans where you can pay a deposit and you can pay your remaining prices over the flexible period of time. That's a wonderful option, because what you do with this, you pay a deposit, you secure your property, and by the time you end up paying your installments, property would have already been appreciated 2 or 3 times. And so developer has come in the place of banks. So they are acting as bankers. We do offer solutions in Nigeria. We do offer solutions in Dubai. Even in Dubai, a lot of developers, they have excellent flexible payment options. You can pay your entire property over a period of 3 to 5 years even. So going back to US is altogether a different market. There, if you are living in the US, there's always better financing options available if you're a accredited investor. We do offer our investment solutions. We do have a subsidiary called GWest Capital, where you can invest seamlessly through a global app, and you can grow with your money. And the returns in dollar terms are unheard of. It's not if you want to deposit your money in bank accounts in terms of dollars, returns rate are 3 to 4 or 5% at the max. In the Europe, you see negative interest rates rather. If you pay money to keep your deposits, but what we are offering, we do accept investments and we do invest in the real estate project. The money grows faster, and we have payment tenure. We do take investment from 18, 24, 36 months. And it's a fully secure structure backed by the land project, and it's a full-fledged US SEC filed business. So that's another option with us. So GTEX as a global business, we have 360-degree investment solution for you guys. You can invest in housing, you can buy service plots, you can invest in Dubai. We have a lot of ready to move or off-plan properties. And in the US, you can buy a property through us, or you can invest into our investment subsidiary called US Capital Investment Limited. So I look forward. So guys, weigh your options. Still, real estate is the best investment going forward for the long term. Just a reminder, go with the right people, go with the credible, and secure your hedges. I wish you all the best. If there are any questions, we'll be taking down the road. Thank you so much. Mr. Farouk, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rana. I actually believe everyone understood and got knowledge from what he just told us now. And really, it's quite important to understand what your budget is before you even invest in these places to understand the best place for you to invest. But before our next speaker or our main speaker comes up, I'd like to ask a very practical question. Because before we have webinars and trainings like this, it's important to add to your knowledge. But everyone comes here with what we call sometimes half knowledge or zero knowledge. And the most incriminating kind of knowledge you can have is half knowledge. And half knowledge is when you actually believe you know, or perhaps you have a little knowledge of something and you go into it. People that go into businesses with half knowledge end up losing more money than those that go into businesses with zero knowledge. Because those with zero knowledge will end up seeking for knowledge. But for those that have half knowledge, will end up believing they know it all. But I want to ask a very simple question. If you have $50,000 today, right, which of these locations will you invest in? Nigeria, UK, US, or Dubai? So I'd like you to type your answers. At the end of this training, we'll ask this question again and we'll see whether some people have different answers based on the information they've learned today. So I'd like to see your feedback. $50,000 capital, all cash, not in assets, liquid, spare capital. Where we invest in? Let's say you're seeking to have an exit strategy in the next 5 years. Which area will you invest in that will give you the highest return of investment? Or based on your own preference, your own risk analysis at this moment. Mr. Isaac says Nigeria. Who else? $50,000 at the moment. Um, Blessing says Nigeria. Ifeanyi Chukwuigwe says Nigeria. Joseph says Nigeria. Ade Suchi says Nigeria. Yusuf says Nigeria. Sebastian says Dubai. Donald says Dubai. Emek says Nigeria or US. John says Dubai and Nigeria. I will split it. Mr. John, choose one. Choose one, Mr. John. Victory says US. Dave says US. Okay, fantastic. Why is no one talking about the UK? Why is nobody talking about the UK? Interesting. Ali says I should repeat the question. So I was asking, if you have $50,000 all cash as capital, currently at the moment, where would you invest in? Nigeria, US, Dubai, or UK? Um, Samuel says Doha. I didn't even include Doha, Mr. Samuel. Doha. Diana says Nigeria and the US. Rhoda says Subaru. I don't seem to understand where Subaru is. It's definitely not part of the questions I asked. Um, Sammy says Nigeria. Ali says Sierra Leone. That's a very interesting and controversial answer. Olutoyin says UK. Olutoyin says she's in the UK, so I can understand if you're willing to invest that amount in the UK. Basically, there's no location everyone mentions that it's not a good location for investment, particularly in the year 2025. In this current economy whereby real estate is one of the safest investments you can ever do. Emmanuel Adebayo says Qatar, US, and Nigeria. Awesome, fantastic. So you can hold on to your answers, and at the end of today's training, you'll be able to look at it and review based on the information you've had and say, where will I put $50,000? For some of the locations you mentioned, you can say, is $50,000 actually enough? Do I need to increase that for me to get maximum returns on these locations? Maybe I have to start from Nigeria and diversify across time. Maybe I start something in the US. In 3 years, I liquidate. I put in Dubai. Maybe I start with Dubai. I get rental income. After a couple of years, I diversify into UK or US. Maybe I want something really stable. I want to go to the UK. But that's what today is all about, to learn on how you can diversify this investment. Accept only risk you can properly evaluate. Accept only risk you can properly evaluate. That's correct. Basically, there's nothing you can do that does not have risk factor involved. But your job and our job is to minimize the risk. Although there are some things you cannot plan for. Like, for example, no one planned about 2020 lockdown, no one planned about COVID-19. It was not among the risk factors, but there are things that will actually spring up. Recession comes and go. You have to factor that. You have to plan that as well. So I quite agree with you, Mr. Ifine. Rhoda says, I will put it in Nigeria. Finally, you've chosen a place to put your investment in. But that's fantastic. Rana, I hope Mr. Rana, I still hear Mr. Rana.
Perhaps because he has been in different markets. Maybe he can probably tell me his own preference. Mr. Rana, are you here? Yes.
Mr. Farooq.
Yes.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes. So if you have $50,000 now for investment, based on your exposure to Nigeria, Dubai, the UK, and the US, where will you put your money in?
Honestly, that depends what the purpose of investment, I think we need to analyze it from this perspective. For example, if I invest that money in Nigeria, I think that it will be the capital appreciation will be much more faster than any other market, maybe any other developed market like UK, US, or European market. So, but if you are someone looking a very, very secured structure, a secured market, where capital appreciation doesn't matter for you and you're looking to have some fixed returns on your investments, so then you could consider probably UK or Dubai as also, because what I have done personally in my life, I have done diversification. Whatever I invested back home, I originally come from Pakistan. That property has appreciated more than any other properties where even if you compare to Dubai as well. But again, you have to have a balanced portfolio, I would advise. So if there is some expat looking to invest for rental income, he might think of investing in Dubai, for example, at this moment, where you have excellent 8 to 10% rental yields, and there's a capital appreciation also. But if he is looking for long-term growth, it's a good time to buy in Nigeria bulk land and leave it for some time. I think that could be a multiplier effect also.
Okay, fantastic. So, Mr. Rana, I think better than you can. Technical, can you send me a panelist link so I can send to our chief host today, please? Technical, please forward me a panelist link so I can give to our chief host. Yes, Dr. Sim is trying to come up. Right. Particularly, I have a very big bias for Nigeria because I'm a Nigerian and I believe Nigeria is one of the best places. I believe you don't take your money outside. But also, the logical part of me is also telling me one thing. If I'm willing to diversify my investments, so particularly because of the high inflation in countries like Nigeria, I would like to also diversify in more stable economies. You mentioned about Dubai, which is fantastic. For example, the exchange rate between Dubai and US have been stable for as long as possible, which means you can predict what your income will come in US dollars particularly. Also, if you're looking at you're in Nigeria and you want to find places to invest, so no matter how expensive we'll call it, maybe inflation comes, dollar and naira exchange rate is different, you can always get FX that will basically balance it out. And that is always a good thing for you. So these are the factors to consider if you're willing to invest in these locations. So thank you so much, Mr. Rana, for the answer. I think we can move on. So yes, so these are basically the decisions you have to make when it comes to investing in real estate. And I'm really, really sure behind and beyond all this, we'll be able to move on. So just a brief introduction of who we are. My name is Farouk Usman once again. I'm actually the MD of our biggest digital cooperative in the world of Africa called GVES Investments. And our goal is to help individuals, cooperatives, and businesses multiply their wealth through real estate and give them diverse ways for them to invest in different currencies. So perhaps you're investing in Naira, you can invest with a Nigerian cooperative. You want to join our US GVES capital, like Mr. Rana has also said, you can also invest with us. You want to invest in Dubai real estate. We also call something we call fractional real estate, whereby you can invest bit by bit to own a property. Amongst others, our company is called GTEX Holdings, and we're a conglomerate of other companies. We're also into media, into tech. We do what we call GTEX Land, GTEX Homes, wholesale properties in Nigeria, in the US, in the UK. We're in 4 different continents in the world. We started off in Nigeria 17 years ago. We moved to Dubai 4 years ago. About just a little above 2 years ago, we're in the US, we're in the UK 3 to 4 years ago. And this year, we're opening another office in Doha. So that's who we are. And I think we deserve a round of applause. So if you believe we are doing a good job representing Nigeria, putting Nigeria in a good image, not only Nigeria, also to Africa at large. So just tell us you are doing a good job, GTEX, so we can be sure you actually believe we are doing a good job. So if you believe we are doing a good job, just type you're doing a good job. So we can be sure you all agree. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Doing a good job, GTEX. Thank you so much. Technical, please. I'm also waiting for. Okay. Let me bring in an speaker. Yes, you're doing a good and amazing job, GTEX. You're doing a good job. Awesome. So it would be a crime. I'm leaving a disclaimer today. It would be a crime for you to get all this wealth of knowledge from us today and not do business with us, because there's no better company in the whole of the world that can help you manage your finance, help you grow your wealth, build your wealth, multiply your wealth than GTEX Holdings. So we are all amazing. We're all ready for a fantastic session. So if you are ready, let me have you just type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. You're ready, type ready, 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 ready. Dr. Sue is not going to come up until here. We are ready. Only Mr. Samuel is ready. So I think we have a separate webinar for Mr. Samuel. Okay, Mr. Maiwa says, amen, ready. Diana says, ready. So we're having a breakout session. Only Mr. Samuel, Mr. Maiwa, and Diana. They are the only ones ready. If you're ready, okay. Favor, ready. Abdulaziz, ready, 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 ready. Amazing. Up next, we're going to be having our convener for today, our chief host. The reason why we're here is he recently just concluded the part 1 of a fantastic 21 days at Harvard University. And a lot of us must have joined. Even me, I feel like I've been to Harvard just by watching the videos that this great man has been putting up. Well, a sounding round of applause to the standing ovation. Please welcome the chairman of GTEX Holdings, the visionary of this wonderful company, and the reason why we're here today to share a fragment of his knowledge on the ABCs on real estate in the whole of the world. Please welcome Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Thank you, Mr. Farouk. I appreciate that warm and generous welcome. Thank you for the good words, kind words you used. How are you guys doing today? It's good to see you guys here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm aware a lot of you have looked up to this event. Many people send me message. Oh, I can't wait to be there. I'm looking forward to the event. Well, we're here, and I'm happy that you are part of it and you're able to make it today. Really, really happy to have you guys here. I would love to have an idea of those that I have here. So if you can do me a favor, I'd like you to tell me your name and the city that you're joining me from, okay? Just want to have an idea of those who are here, your name and the city you're joining me from. So I have Ibadan in Nigeria. By the way, some of you will just say Ibadan. Where's Ibadan, right? So this is a global webinar and people all over the world are part of this. Some are not from Africa. Victoria, Stephen from Jos, Nigeria, better. I can see Freetown is here. I can see it's moving faster. I can see Nigeria. I can see Lagos, a lot of Lagos. Nigeria, I can see Uyo, I can see Ogun State, I can see Anambra. Let me see. What more city? I can see Delta State, Warri. I can see Lagos, more Ibadan. Maiduguri, I was born in Maiduguri. I can see Kano, Yade. I can see Ondo State. I can see Lagos. I can see Freetown. How many people from Freetown? I can see Abuja. I can see Oshogbo. I can see UK. I can see Doha. Let's go. I can see more UK. Okay, so we have UK. Okay, beautiful. You're welcome. Good to have you all here. Thank you for joining once again. Like I mentioned earlier, feel free to invite your friends who are interested in this topic to join us. I have a long slide, so I'm trying to really move quickly and fast. And my goal is to make sure that you live here being very well educated. So we're looking at the ABC of investing in US, UK, Dubai, and this is actually what I'm teaching you is from my book, one of my latest book called The ABC of Investing. I'm trying to look for the book if I have some copies here in the house. I'm not sure I have a copy here, but you can go on Amazon or go to my website. You'll get the full book and you can read it more. If you can see my slide, kindly tap. I can see your slide. I want to be sure. But by the way of introduction, real estate remains one of the most reliable avenues for wealth creation and preservation globally. It provides the edge against inflation, offers consistent cash flow, long-term appreciation, and facilitates general wealth transfer. Now, this presentation compares investments in 4 dynamic markets. So we're able to look at the 4 dynamic markets. We're able to look at the benefits in those markets, challenges of those markets, opportunities in those markets, and how do we collectively as a company, as individual, or as a company leverage, invest, and take advantage of the opportunities, right? That's why we're here. So we're going to start with the US market. Now, anybody from the US here? Anybody from the US or you've invested in the US market? If you are from the US or you've invested in the US market before, can you indicate, you have invested in the US market? Let me see. Anyone? Anyone? Nobody. What's going on? Nobody here is from the US. Nobody here has invested in the US market. That's strange. Really strange. Who do I have here then? I'm even surprised that my Americans are not here. I'm trying to escape because I want to see what's going on here. Thank you. Okay. So John says he's invested in the US market. Okay, that's good. Joy, is interested in the US market, but I'm not sure she's in the US. Who else? Because I'm curious to, but who is here? You're not based in the US, but you're interested in the US market. Can you indicate? Right, you're not based in the US, but you're interested in the US market. Let me see. How many of you? Okay, you're not in the US, but you're interested. Only John has invested before in the US market, so at least he has that. Favor is interested in the US market. Donald is interested in the US market. Okay, good. So that's beginning to make sense. Else, I will have said there's no point training you about the US market if you're not interested. But I think a few of us want to learn about the US market. So let's go. The US market for me is one of my newest markets that I'm investing in right now. And I'm really enjoying it. First of all, you need to know that it's the most matured market, liquid real estate market globally, strong legal framework, and investors protection. And that's one of the reasons why I moved to the US, right? I felt investors are way more protected in the US than probably anywhere else in the world when it comes to real estate. High institutional involvement and a well-developed mortgage market. I will argue that the US mortgage market is the most developed, right? We're talking about estimated, residential real estate value exceed 50 trillion. Jesus, where else can you get that? Everybody type 50 trillion. I did not say 50 billion. 50 trillion. Okay, that is the residential market in the US. So you see why some of us felt we needed to play in this market because it's huge. When you look at, there's no other residential real estate market anywhere else in the world that can boast of $50 trillion. Nowhere else. This is huge. And this is America. Okay. So you see why for me it was a good market. When you decide to, kind of look at the various types of real estate, generally there are about three of them. You have the residential, you have the commercial, you have the specialized. The residential, you're looking at single family, rental, multifamily apartment, townhouses, condominium. That is the market that focuses on the residential. When you look at the commercial, you're looking at office buildings, shopping centers, industrial properties, logistics hub. That is the commercial. Then you have like the specialized, types of real estate here in the US. You're looking at vacation home, senior citizen facilities, student housing. You're looking at mobile home parks, so all these kind of fits into the specialized, category when you're looking at the type of, housing in the US. Now, United States entry strategy for foreign investors, right? So since most of you watching are not based in the US, I'm going to teach more from if you are not based in the US and you're trying to invest in the US market, how do you go about it? How many of you think that makes sense? Okay. If it makes sense, type it makes sense. It makes sense. I love a very interactive class. So occasionally I will pause. I will try to hear from you. I'll try to get feedback from you guys. That's how I love to do my class. Okay, so everybody says it makes sense. So I'm going to continue there. So when you are interested in the US market, you need to form a limited liability company. There are other types of company registrations that you can do, but let's just make it basic. You register your company as a legal entity in the US, and people will ask me why. When you're doing real estate and you do it as a company, there's a lot more protection that it offers you. This class won't be able to go into all that, because this is like an introductory class into understanding all these markets and how to take advantage of them. So some of the conversations are very introductory. So we won't go into why a registered company protects you, but just know that it's better as a foreign entity coming to the US. You want to invest in the US market. It's good to register your company And you can register your company without being in the US, by the way. And you register your company. The next thing is you can take advantage, utilize the foreign national loan. Now, what the foreign national loan allows you to take advantage of is the fact that you can get between 25 to 30% mortgage, right? So you just do a 25 to 30% down payment and you can get loan for the rest. And this is interesting. You don't need to have social security. A lot of foreigners do not know this. I get in fact, the biggest question people ask me the most is, hey, Dr. Steven, I'm interested in investing in US, but can I invest? I'm not based in the US. I don't live in the US. Are you sure I can invest? Are you sure I'll get mortgage? One of my colleagues at Harvard, was still sharing the same thing with me. He wants to invest $2 million, but he's like, hey, but I don't have a US residency. Are you sure I can still invest? I said, come on. He said, yeah, but I'm trying to get a loan. I said, don't forget all of that. I can easily, like this, right? Everybody say on an instant. Come on, everybody to say instant. I want everybody to say instant. On an instant, I can get you a 70% loan for any property you want to get here in the US. Easy. Easy. And you don't need to be a resident. You don't even need to have a US visa. And you can own a property here in the US. How many of you think that's cool? I can see most of you here as well. I say, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm surprised I didn't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. And the problem is that what you don't know, you don't know. What you don't know, you know. I remember hearing the story of somebody mocking me that what we were selling is farmland in Texas. I laughed and laughed and laughed. And I will share briefly about that to you. You see, ignorance sounds like wisdom when it's being dished out to fellow ignorant people. Oh, let me say that again. I'm not sure if people heard that. Ignorance sounds like wisdom when ignorance is communicated to fellow foolish or ignorant people, right? For example, my house is 3.3 acre. My tax every year is almost $10,000 on just a 3.3 acre. Now, if I have a property of 99 acres, okay, my tax on that property will be almost $100,000 every year. That's not wisdom. So what do we do in Texas? We turn it to a farm. Once we can get a farm exemption, we can farm crops, we can farm animals, we can do whatever in it. But once we are farming on it, we get what we call, agricultural exemption. And because of that agricultural exemption, my tax is low. So imagine somebody see me advertise a land in Texas and say, hey, there's this land you can come and buy. And because he saw that they are planting corn on the land, the person goes and say, can you imagine? It's government farm. They said they are selling land. Like I said again, foolishness sounds like wisdom when the people is being shared to are also ignorant. And sometimes there's a depth of ignorance people exhibit that you are flabbergasted that you don't even know where to start from. Like, how do I start with these people? Okay? Other than just keep quiet and just watch them exhibiting their ignorance and sell their ignorance to themselves. Okay? Are we learning, guys? If you're learning type, I'm learning. So attractive cities, the next step, first step, remember, is register a limited liability company. Next step, remember, is to what? You can utilize the foreign national loan. The third step is pick a city. So I see sometimes people like, why haven't you invest in this particular city? Why haven't you invest in that city? We are focused on Texas, and it's because of certain advantages, right? In Texas, there's a tax advantage. I just shared with you one of those secret tax advantage, because people don't know that the part of the challenge of investing in the US is the tax. The fact that I can buy a house and every year I have to be paying tax, and most people are not even used to that, so they're scared. But in Texas, you can get a Greek exemption. There are ways around, So you must be careful which city do you invest in, because the city you're investing in largely influence your ability to really maximize profit. And there's so much traffic moving to Texas. So Houston is a fantastic place. Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, Phoenix, these are good places. So someone said, how about California? Everybody's running away from California. Again, I don't have the time to break down why, which city you should run away from, which city you should not invest. How about New York? Everybody's leaving New York, right? So you can't just wake up and say, I'm investing in a particular city. You must understand the rules, the advantages, what city compared to this other city before investing. Don't just say, I'm buying property in the US and you've not done your analysis about the city, about the states, right? So these are very, very critical things you have to look out for. Number next is access opportunities through real estate investment trust, REITs, right? So some of you want to start real estate, but you don't have all the money. You can set up a real estate trust, or you can set up what we call a syndication. A syndication is, we call it Article D. It's a type of registration that allows you to be able to raise funds for your real estate projects. And, the government is aware you're doing real estate project. I encourage you to register whatever you're doing, right? So for me, one of the advantages I've always enjoyed in business is that I am 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Absolutely. So I remember when we were expanding to the US, somebody who was doing to real estate said, Dr. Steven, you don't need to register your syndication. You can be doing your real estate on the side, get people to invest with you. You don't need to register, right? I said, no, I want to. If I paid the lawyer $25,000 and we did a syndication, properly set it up. And I think some months ago, some people started carrying my name up and down, spreading fake news. If I had not done proper registration, I would have been scared and worried. In fact, some people say we'll report him to FBI. I wanted to tell them, please report me to CIA. Okay? And so please, if you're gonna do business, do it properly. I have always been intentional about that. I remember we had a situation in Dubai once, and some of these clients defaulted on their so Dubai has a rule. If you default on your payment, some of the real estate companies will say that you forfeit the initial deposit that you made. So we had about 3 customers who paid for property, but they defaulted. So they didn't pay to our company, they paid to the developers direct. And the developer canceled their unit, claiming that they defaulted. Right? Whether it was right or wrong, one of the things we did right was to report. Not just in Dubai, we reported the case in Nigeria, Interpol, EFCC. Right? This happened. And thank God we did. Because 2, 3 years later, the same customers started rising up. And rather than mention the name of the company they paid to, guess whose company they were mentioning? GTEX, my name. Right? So sometimes when you see me talk about integrity, we're not just motivating you, we're telling you what we've done and what has saved us and what has helped us in business. what has protected us such that it doesn't matter any fake news anybody says. It doesn't matter how anybody tried anything. Because we've done things the proper way, it has helped our organization. Are we learning? If you're learning, type I'm learning. And I'm sharing this because many of you watch my videos and you jump up and you immediately start business. But what I've always learned and noticed that many of you don't do it properly, right? You are not well structured, you don't obey all the rules. And some people end up running into trouble and they'll be like, well, Dr. Steven said we can do this business. This thing can be easy. And I'm like, hey, but you didn't do it right. You just watch a webinar and that's it. So let me do my disclaimer. This webinar does not guarantee that you are now a professional when you come to investing in the US or in the UK or in Dubai or in Nigeria. This gives you an exposure, is an introductory class. I encourage you to reach out to us beyond this webinar so that we can work together and give you the right counsel. How many of you think that is fair? Is my disclaimer fair? Come on, talk to me. Because if I don't say, I know, particularly those of us from Africa, we just, our brain calculates it, pa, I know I'm going to do it. And, I'm like, okay, okay. We're smart. We're smart people. Okay. So let's go on. So let's look at United States benefits and risk. So we've looked at, hey, you need to invest in US, but let's look at the benefits and the risk, okay? Benefits, long-term fixed rates mortgage up to 30 years. So you want to invest in the US, you have opportunity to get access to mortgage that can last you up to 50 years, and that's really, really good. Tax incentives. So you look at mortgage interest deduction, depreciation, 1031 exchanges. So you have what we call a tax deferral mechanism for reinvested property gains. Okay, so one of the things you can do when it comes to real estate, you can defer your tax and keep reinvesting that money. Okay, these are all amazing opportunities that you benefit when it comes to real estate in the US, right? You have transfer property records and professional property managers. So there's also the access to quality, talents, which is also one of the biggest problems we have in Africa, right? Africa lacks quality talents when it comes to real estate. And because we don't have quality talent most times, it's been part of the frustration. You have substandard buildings, a lot of substandard buildings in Africa. You have, I can go on and on and on and on as to the different challenges that, exist, particularly in Africa. And they are largely because we don't even have the right talent pool, right? And that's a major weakness that we even have as a people. So I think that is also something that you have advantage of when you're dealing here. You also have, what are the risks if you're investing in the US? What are the risks? So let's look at some of the risks. Number one, variant state taxes and regulations. So US has different taxes, different regulations across different states. So what works in this state does not work in that state. And sometimes it can be frustrating, right? We also have tenant-friendly laws in certain jurisdictions like California and New York that allows your tenant to owe you and there's nothing you can do for a long time. And that can be frustrating, right? Because one of the advantages why people want to invest in the US compared to, let's say, Africa, is the fact that you are empowered to evict your tenants if they default, right? But some states kind of are a bit, laid back on some of those. And these are also things you must look out for before investing in any state. Am I in a state where if my tenant default, I can evict them easily? Or I'm in a state where My tenant even has rights and can just keep messing around. Okay. So that's one of the risks that you stand when investing in the US. They're vulnerable to interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserves. So that's also another issue. So because you're doing mortgage, you took a loan of 70% for the property you're buying. Let's say by the time you bought the property, interest rate was 4%, right? You could have an interest rate hike as high as 9%. And if they are giving you 9%, your lender will add maybe 2%. So you are getting at 11%, right? Now at 11%, remember it was 4%. So if it was 4%, maybe you did it when you bought the property, the interest rate was 6%. Suddenly it's almost double. Do you see now? Meaning, what your interest on your mortgage, doubles. So if you were supposed to be paying 2,000, you are now almost to pay 4,000 because of the interest rate hike. So these are some of the risks when it comes to investing in the US. But in spite of that, with proper training, proper, mentorship, with proper partners, because sometimes it's also good when investing in many of these cities, have a partner. That's the secret I have. Before doing something alone in any country, I will first partner with somebody. Yes, it may mean that I'm not making as much profit as I could make, but it means I won't lose all my money. It means with my partner, the risk is shared. With my partner, he has more exposure. I'm able to make something good. And that is wisdom. Everybody say that is wisdom. Wisdom is partnership. Wisdom is partnership. Come on, everybody say wisdom is partnership. Those who don't make it in real estate are those who are greedy. It's one of those businesses that, your weakness is if you are greedy. You only want to be the only one, you want to make all the profit, you don't have all the margins, then you're not going to go far. But as long as you are willing to say, hey, in this business, I want to win, I want to share profit, I want to share loss, I want to share risk, then you're in the right business. Okay, so let me share this with you. This is one of the risk I took. This is a 99-acre property here in Brookshire. And again, these things, like I said, is a risk. But guess what? It's not even up to a year, and the value of the properties is already 20% higher. And I'll show you why. This is a news that gladdens my heart. So,
new Tesla mega factory is coming to the Houston area. The company plans to spend nearly $200 million to build a manufacturing facility in Brookshire. According to our partners at the Houston Business Journal, the new factory should create around 1,500 jobs. The project received the green light from the Waller County Commissioner's Court earlier this week. Tesla says the plan is to replicate its mega factory in Lathrop, California, which manufactures utility-scale batteries it calls megapacks.
The company is building a gigafactory on a larger scale that will dwarf its current gigafactories by comparison. Tesla's new Terafactory is coming up in Austin, Texas. Named Tesla Gigafactory 5 or Giga Texas, it will handle an unprecedented volume of production, 28 times more than its present gigafactory in Nevada.
With Tesla's new megafactory coming to Texas, Brookshire is becoming a hotspot for investors. Jasper Estate Brookshire offers prime access to this growth. Now let's hear from the visionary behind this development on why this is the perfect investment opportunity.
Welcome to Jasper Brookshire. Here we have 99 acres in this phase 1 project. We intend to acquire more. The goal is simple. It's a mixture of residential, commercial, and service plots. We have up to 50 acres of service plot. We're selling 1 acre per unit at the rate of 300,000 per acre. We're going to, of course, over time, work on the plotting, on the horizontal, and making sure we build a community. We're using a whole 20 acres to do a golf course, thereby raising the value, making an estate where high net worth individuals live. The front part, we're doing commercial, restaurants, clinics, and basic opportunity for office spaces. And then the middle is the golf course. On each side is our own green and smart residential houses. And then at the back to the stream, you also have service plots where you can buy 1 acre each. Remember, we also have a lake in the middle. So it's a beautiful land that you want to invest in today. You see, the journey of investing in land banking in America is one of the best ways to make money. In fact, you make more money from land banking than multifamily than you will make from even selling, building houses and selling. The more money is on the land, there's no limit to it. And last year alone, over 500,000 people moved to Texas. This year has been predicted to be 1 million. Next year is probably going to be a lot more. So the more people are coming, the more land is becoming scarce. And you investing right now at the beginning, you have an opportunity to buy it at way less. And when you own property here in the US, it helps you with immigration. It helps you with your application for either residence or visitors visa or residency visa. These are things you can use to prove that you have skin in the game here in America. The good news is that you can invest whether you live here or you don't live here. Anybody anywhere in the world can invest and get good return on investment. We also give you an opportunity to just deposit $50,000 and you spread the balance in the space of what? The space of 6 to 12 months. Also, some of you don't want to even buy land, but you just want to invest so that we keep using your money to develop this 99 acre and then give you returns. You can do that as well with as little as $20,000 and above investment slots, and you secure the future. I keep saying it. My life turned around. Okay, from that young man who started business with $10,000 Nigerian 16 years ago to building empire in 4 continents. It can happen for you as well. But the journey begins with land banking. When I started buying acreages in Nigeria, people thought I was crazy. But today, we know who is crazy, right? And my crazy is a good kind of crazy, it's a rich kind of crazy. I want you to join that club. Welcome to Jasper, Brookshire.
The future of Brookshire is unfolding fast, and Jasper Estate Brookshire is right at the center of it all. With strategic location and massive growth potential, now is the time to invest. Don't wait. Secure your spot today and be part of this thriving opportunity.
Whoa, how many of you think this is good? Anybody excited about this? If you're excited, type I'm excited. I want to hear. By the way, how many of you think you would like to be part of this project? Okay, how many of you would like to be part of this project? So you can see with the coming of Tesla, they've not even started building, and the value is already up by 200%. Now imagine when they launch the factory, imagine when the over 1,000 workers begin to work in that Brookshire, imagine the value of, and it's just about 5-10 minutes from where our land is. That's where this new factory is coming. So this is huge. This is really, really huge. And you can buy 1 acre. I think we're doing a massive promo for our 17th year anniversary, where instead of 300,000 per acre, we're only selling per acre. Instead of $3,000 per acre, you can pay $150,000 if you're paying outright. And if you're doing installments, you do $200,000 per acre. That's if you want to own a portion of the land. But some people don't even want to own land. They just want to invest and get returns. We have a package called our, GVest Investment USA. And that's the syndication I told you. We had to file it with the SEC. So they are and that's what I love to do. When I do investments, when I do things, I love to do it properly. So there's no, oh, they're doing something funny, not at all. Integrity for me is my watchword, and that's why anybody is free to say what they want to say. I've learned that there are certain heights you get to, people will gossip, and you just have to get used to that. But our program is 18 months returns. Every 18 months you get a return, and you have to keep your capital for 3 or 6 years. So here's one of our investors, and here's our testimony.
Hi everybody, this is Bukola Adigbola, and I am making this short testimony about GBest. I have invested with them for the past 3 years, and it's been a good time with them. They are very reliable. They are dependable. I have peace of mind, and I have my return for my investment every year. And as you have said, they are very dependable. They have professionals. Their staff are respectable. They are very professional. They are very loyal. They have integrity, and I have peace of mind. I am not sleeping, and I'm like, hey, where is my money? What has gone? What has gone wrong with my investment? This is just a short testimony. They are very reliable. I will forever do business with them. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, so this is one of our clients. In fact, there was one I met. I'd known her since Nigeria, but I didn't know she was even one of our investors. And we just met in Dallas last year. And she was saying, hey, I invested with you guys, and I've been getting my returns. So I was like, really? And yeah, there are sometimes where there are one or two delays here and there, but we're always communicating why. And for me, integrity is not just doing what you promise. If for any reason you can't do what you promise, you must communicate it, because there are times where there are issues beyond your control, okay, that affect your ability to deliver. Okay, are we getting value, guys? I hope we're getting value. So I hope you saw the testimony. Were you all able to watch the testimony, or you didn't see the testimony? Were you able to watch the testimony? If you're able to watch the testimony, type I watched it. Okay, if you watch the testimony, okay, good. I wanted to be sure. So let's continue. I'm done with the US market. Now I want to go to the UK market. But I want to ask any question before I get to the UK market. Any question about the US market? Any questions? So I've shared with you how to go about, what are the opportunities. I've also shared with you some of the opportunities we have for you in the US. We have more than this, but I'm just sharing these ones as an example so that I don't take too much of our time today. Are we good with the US? If you want me to continue, just type continue so that I can move to the UK market. Okay. One of the things I'm hoping this class will do is to help you to know how to compare, right? So now you've seen the US. By the time we get into the UK, you can then compare and say, okay, so what's the advantage between UK market and US market? So let's look at the overview. Historically, the UK market is very stable, transparent property market, extremely transparent. In fact, the UK market is one of the real estate market that takes too long because there's just so much of underwriting, so much of particularly the loan process can be so long. So London leads the market, the highest returns is in London, followed by cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool. Also good cities to, in terms of return on investment in real estate market in the UK. Property ownership include freehold, in other words, complete ownership. But there's also leasehold, so limited ownership. So in London, and these are also some things you must always ask. There's a property somebody wants to sell to me in London, and it's leasehold. So the years remaining was, I think, 57 years on the lease, right? So if you don't know that you are buying a leasehold and there's only 57 years left, you go ahead, you buy it, and How many of you know that all properties in Nigeria are leasehold? If you know, tap, I know. If you don't know, tap, I don't know. Let me say that again. How many of you know that every property in fact, the process of getting C of O is equal to converting your land from freehold to leasehold? Let me say that again. The process of getting C of O is the automatic conversion of your land from freehold to leasehold. So you see, when a lot of come and start saying, your land doesn't have C of O. The land, I just laugh like the ignorance in our real estate sector. Oh Lord. I can't stop laughing. Adesh Shuji says, you said investing in the US cost 300. I didn't say investing in US cost 300,000. We have an estate we're selling, a land we're selling, and we're selling per acre, and it's going for $300,000 dollar per acre, but we're giving those buying outright to pay $150,000 in our 17th year anniversary promo. And those who want to just do installments, they can do $200,000. I hope that's clear. Please quote me right. Don't quote me wrong. Don't, say, I went for Dr. Stephen webinar. He said you cannot buy property in the US except you have $300,000. Please. Now, God, I use Beguna. This social media don't tire me because people just misquote. Okay. So let's look at United Kingdom types of property. There are a couple of types, right? You have buy to let, there are BTL. So buying property to rent it out for income. So we call it buy to let. So you're buying this property, you now own it, but the goal is so that you rent it out and then you get, residual income from the rent. We also have HMO, houses in multiple occupations. So this is renting to multiple tenants under individual contracts. This gives you a higher yield. So because particularly this happens a lot in London and other parts of UK that is highly dense, income inequality is getting wider. A lot of people cannot afford to just rent an entire 3-bedroom, right? So what happens now is called HMO, where you can get a permit to renovate a 3-bedroom and turn it to a 6-bedroom or 5-bedroom. And then you then use what we call houses in multiple occupations, right? Or multiple occupancies. But basically what then happens is that you make it almost like an en suite. Each person with their room, right? They can share the kitchen and share the living room, but everybody has their room and their toilet to themselves. And this works with a lot of young, professionals now in London. They can afford, something that big. And you in turn make more money, okay, using this method. And it's a big successful method, right? In fact, this is one of the biggest way to make money in the UK right now when it comes to real estate, right? Are we learning? By the way, you can go to my YouTube. I've done several videos on HMO, how it works, how you can make money. I also have a course called Real Estate Investment Masterclass that breaks down, HMO properly. You also have off-plan development and urban regeneration zone. The major regeneration zone is very huge. So here is that you go buy property in areas where the government is, trying to regenerate that neighborhood, right? So it's then an opportunity for you to build maybe high 10-story, 20-story, and you can start something called off-plan, meaning you get investors to start paying you before you complete the house. So maybe you need 4 years. They sign contract with you. This house will be ready in 4 years' time, but you can start paying now, or you can pay now, and we'll give you the keys in 4 years. And you can even calculate what the likely value will be in 4 years' time. So they too, they are doing because maybe they are buying that property for £400,000, but the value in 4 years' time would be £600,000. So imagine, first of all, you are able to spread that £400,000. You're also able to get a mortgage on the £400,000. So you're only paying 30% 30%, and you're getting a mortgage for the remaining 70%. Do you see now? And by the time you are getting the key to the property, what happens? The value is already high. So people love, this is one of the major ways to really, build wealth. Lolade says the masterclass on YouTube, madam, is free now. You can't expect every course I do to be free. Okay, it can't be on YouTube because it's a paid class. All right, and that's one of the things that get me a bit frustrated with my followers, particularly on social media. I've chunked out so many free content, right? On YouTube, I have some courses free on HMO. It's free. Go to YouTube, Dr. S. Akintayo is there. But the real estate investment masterclass is a very much detailed program and it's paid. But one of the things I tell people who follow me, and this is very important, do not expect everything that I do to be free. I don't think it's fair. And I'm even making up my mind now to stop doing free classes because I noticed that because of so much free classes I've done over the years, people are then taking it for granted. People literally have the mindset like I owe them some class. I was being dragged over $18,000 coaching as though I owe some Nigerians to make something free for them, which doesn't make sense to me. Admin, I need to be able to send message to everybody, participants. I'm only able to send message to panelists. Okay, I'm only able to send message to panelists. Can you help out? So for me, I've been very much frustrated, and in recent time, I'm gonna be restricting a lot of what I do now going forward. I'm better off, having a very compact sessions, very small group of people who value, who want to pay, than all this free, because you do a lot of free stuff. Many of the participants don't even do anything with what they learn from you at the end of the day, right? Because they are not even in the position, some of them, to execute. Plus, you then see people also take it for granted. They just feel you owe them. Okay? After all, he's a rich man. Else, I don't see why anybody will make a noise over how much I charge for coaching. If you don't have $18,000, you don't have it. Move away, look away. Okay? If you have it, go ahead and pay. And if you feel you want to pay, pay. Nobody put a gun to anybody. But to begin to insult me over how much I charge, it's a proof that people are beginning to take what you do for granted. And they don't respect you, they don't value you. That's what it means. Okay. So next is commercial property. So we have retail stores, office buildings, service departments, right? This is the fourth type of real estate that you can do in the UK. So you can decide to say, I just want to do retail stuff. Flora, thank you. Thank you for apologizing on behalf of everyone. So retail stores, you have office buildings, you have service apartments. These are also areas you can decide to go into. So what this class is helping you to do is to just understand the various types, and this helps you to know, okay, I think I want to go into this sector, I want to go to this field, I want to try this other one. So when you look at entry and financing, how do you enter the market, right? Mortgage are available for foreigners with a minimum of 25% deposit. Yes. A lot of people are shocked. As a foreigner, you can, get a mortgage, a 75% mortgage, or 70% mortgage to own a property in the UK, even though you're a foreigner. Don't forget that I said so many times it's better you do it as a company. Like I said, we don't have time to break down why it's better to do it as a company, but there's a benefit there. Legal due diligence include title verification, contract review, right? And then student housing is also very lucrative in cities like Leeds, Nottingham, Glasgow. Massive opportunity for student housing in Glasgow. Then use property manager for rental administration. Okay, I've always argued over this to say use some of us, you are new in a business, instead of you to get a proper property manager to work with you, even if it's for a while you are learning the ropes, you are new and you still want to be the one managing your own property. A lot of people have lost money because of that. So get a good property manager to help you manage it, and you learn under them and watch what they're doing. So that at some point you may choose to run it yourself, but it's good to start working with professionals, right? It helps you to know how it works. So let's look at benefits and risk when investing in the UK. Reliable land registry and legal framework, high tenant demand in urban areas, rental yield and capital appreciation is fast developing cities. Okay, so I mean, if you do certain cities, high demands in terms of tenants, good return on investment. In fact, London right now, rent in London is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Doesn't even make sense. One of my friends, before he bought his house, was renting a house in London in where again? Canary Wharf for £12,000 every month. Every type £12,000. So of course he's a big boy. Right? £12,000. Right? And he did that for a few years before he bought his million pound property. Right? But when I looked at the house, £12,000 was a lot. Yeah, good house, but £12,000 was a lot. I mean, I will get such cheaper if I were in the US, right? So there's a huge rental income, particularly in London, huge rental income that you'll be able to make when you have a property in London and you're renting it out. So what are the risks? Stamp duty, land tax. Okay. So tax imposed on property purchase with surcharges for non-residents. Okay, so UK, as you all know, is tax, tax, tax. But again, if you're able to rent it out, then you're able to have a good money coming from your rental to cover up to pay your tax. Environmental and safety compliance, energy performance certificate, EPC. Okay, so the proper regulatory requirements. See why I said get a property manager to manage your property for you. Increasing property maintenance cost, right? So if you don't buy a house that is in good shape, you particularly now with a lot of the regulations, you may find yourself having to spend a whole lot. Are we learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. If you're learning, type I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. Okay, so who can type which country did GText, and it's GText Homes, not even GText Holdings, because GText Holdings has been in many of these countries way longer. But when we expanded our real estate business internationally, can somebody guess which country we expanded to first? You can type. Our real estate business, which country did we expand to first? Somebody say US, somebody say Dubai, someone say UK, someone say US, someone say Dubai, someone say US. It's like you guys are alternating it. Dubai, US, UK, Dubai, US, UK. Okay, the correct. Somebody say Doha. No, Doha is very recent. The correct answer is Dubai. Okay, so 2020 COVID period is when we moved to Dubai as a real estate company. But we've been in Dubai as a consulting firm in UK since UK and US is since 2015, so that's 10 years ago. But our real estate business, as a real estate company, we started with Dubai 2020. And so Dubai used to be leasehold, right? Before now, you cannot own property for life in Dubai. But by 2022, the UAE government decided to start the freehold, where when you buy property in certain places in Dubai, you own the property for life. It's your property. Okay, Jeremiah is asking, how do I start a real estate career? Go work for a company for free and be an intern. Get a 1 year experience under your belt. Jessica is here. I'll probably pull her up soon. Can ITM me make Jessica a panelist? She joined us as an intern. She had a career elsewhere and she wanted to do real estate, and she joined us as an intern. And today she's risen the ranks and she's doing well and making good money. So start somewhere. Start because you don't have the educational qualification, you don't have the career experience. Start as an intern. 6 to 1 year, you'll be experienced, and it's easy for you to now get a good job in that sector or start a business in that sector. So one of the advantages of Dubai market is that no income tax, no capital gain tax or property tax as the advantage. So you can see how we're comparing each region, US region, UK region, Dubai region. What are the advantages, right? So you can see that there's higher returns you make in US compared to UK, but UK is more stable. Even in 2008 crisis that happened in the US, UK was still pretty much stable, right? It doesn't appreciate too fast, but stable market, and higher tax compared to the certain part of the US. But in Dubai, no income tax. So if you make money today, you own everything. You are not paying tax on it. No capital gain tax. So you bought a property, then by the time you are selling it is worth X, then you need to pay tax on the part of the growth. You don't do that in Dubai. No property tax. So then you have global investment destination known for luxury properties and modern infrastructure. So Dubai is becoming that place where when you talk about modern infrastructure, Dubai is really, really growing fast. Freehold apartment in downtown, Dubai Marina, Jumeirah, off-plan developments with phased payment. So now, are you aware in Dubai you can buy a property, you deposit 14%, 10%, and then 4% for government fees. And some allow you to pay 1% of what is left every month. So there's flexible payment for as much as 7 years. Okay, even if you are not a resident of Dubai, even as a foreigner. And if you buy property worth $2 million, you get what we call golden visa, which is transferable to your children, which with the golden visa, it allows you to visit Dubai at any time, even if you miss visiting Dubai in 6 months. Anytime you come to Dubai, you're able to have access to enter. But that's strictly for those who buy property up to 2 million dirhams. So technically, let's just say $750,000 worth of property should get you there. So these are some of the advantages and opportunities. So in Dubai, you can have flexible payment. Then you have short-let property, popular now. So if you can buy your property and then use it for Airbnb and make good money in Dubai. Commercial investment like hotel, apartment, retail outlet, business centers, all these are more amazing opportunities in Dubai you can take advantage of and make good money for yourself. It's important to emphasize that, please, in these countries, US, UK, Dubai, if you default, you will lose your money. Okay? This one that you invest, Maybe because GTES introduced you to who you decide to partner with. And then one day you say, hey, they scam me. Oh, GTES, there's nothing you can do. If you like, shout from now to tomorrow. There's nothing GTES can do. If you default, you default. You lose all your money. In most developers in Dubai, that's how they do. So don't start an investment and then default. Don't do it if you cannot keep up the bill. Don't do it. So Dubai investors entry point, right? Dubai investors entry point. Number one, purchase from Dubai Land Department, DLD. You registered developers for legal protection, all right? So DLD is called the Dubai Land Department. So if you want to start your real estate company in Dubai, you have to work with Dubai Land Department. Next is rental yield range from 8 to 12%, particularly in short-term rental. Eligibility for golden visa through 2 million dirhams or more, which is about just $545,000. And then you qualify for golden visa. Developers backed payment plan with 10% to 20% down payment, and then you spread the balance between 2 to 5 years installment. Also note this, when you're buying property in Dubai, make sure that you pay your 4% DLD. That is very important because if you don't pay your 4%, the Dubai Land Department do not recognize that you have invested in Dubai. So it's easy for even the developer to cheat you because your record is not with the government. But once you pay your 4% to government, the government is now aware that you invested with that particular developer. And it's easy for you to track and hold the government to say, hey, that developer failed to. It's almost like a form of insurance. There are developers that have failed that the government decided to refund every investor because the investors paid that 4% and registered it with them. Okay. Are we learning here or this is boring? If you're learning, I'll soon wrap up, but I hope we're learning. Talk to me, guys. I need your feedback. Are you learning? Is this helpful? Is this worth your time? I mean, you've dedicated your Sunday. I hope it's worth it. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm happy to hear all of this. Happy to hear. So benefit of investing in Dubai, high rental return, especially in tourism hotspots, 100% foreign ownership and repatriation of profit. You can repatriate your money any day, anytime. Tax-free income and capital gain. This is also benefit of Dubai. What are the risks? Risk is oversupply in certain districts. So there could be a situation where there's oversupply and that reduces your ability to get good rental income. Mortgage availability is limited for non-residents. So in Dubai, you don't get mortgage if you're not a resident. What you get is flexible payment plan, but not a mortgage. So you can spread the payment for 7 years. Those are things you can get, but not normal 30-year mortgage. All those 30-year mortgages are available once you are now a resident, which is you now have, because once you buy property, like we said, 2 million dirhams, you get a golden visa, and that makes you a resident. And with that, your subsequent property, you can get up to 80% mortgage, like where you just drop 20% and the remaining 80%, the mortgage institution take care of it. The market is sensitive to global oil prices and geopolitical factors. So those are the risks, right? If anything happens to oil, but they've managed it well. So I have to be honest with you, some things have been properly managed, right? So let's look at Nigerian market, and I will start with this video by somebody.
I'm here with GTEX Homes. You want to invest in real estate, do it for the future.
So I've been a guest of GTEX Homes, and I can tell you they are not bluffing. They are very, very serious about what they do.
I'm on tour with GTEX Homes.
GTEX is in heaven. Going to be taking a tour. Want you to join me?
My name is Oliver Dollars, and I'm live at Jasper Gardenia by GTEX Homes. Welcome to Jasper Estate.
Hi there, what's going on here? You know when I see people that are doing well, I say, all right, you are doing well.
You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy and wait.
Welcome to GTEX Homes USA, where we create wealth through real estate investments, offering land sales, housing development, shortlets, and rentals. We're developing 24 units of luxury apartments in Tidwell, 58 housing units in Claudine, and a 6-story office complex in Katy. You can also invest in land in Brookshire and other prime locations across Texas, including Houston and Richmond. At GTEX Homes, we specialize in building eco-friendly green homes that incorporate smart technology, designed for sustainability and energy efficiency. Our homes offer modern living solutions while minimizing environmental impact. With successful operations in Nigeria and Dubai, GTEX Homes USA is expanding this green and smart approach to real estate in the U.S. We've now established our office at 518 West Green Boulevard, Katy, Texas, and you can visit us anytime.
At GTEX Homes, we're building a global presence, offering premium real estate investments in the UK and Dubai. In the UK, we're delivering new build and off-plan housing units across Greater London and beyond. Whether you're buying a home or investing for capital growth, we've got you covered. In Dubai, we offer high-yield properties in prime locations like Downtown Marina, Business Bay, Motor City, and Al Furjan, perfect for generating consistent rental income in one of the world's most vibrant property markets. Plus, other locations are available based on your preference and investment goals. Even better, investing in our Dubai developments could make you eligible for a resident visa, or even the prestigious Golden Visa. Visit www.gtextholdings.com. Your legacy begins here.
Okay. Let me see where we were. Okay, so the Nigerian market, are we ready for Nigerian market? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready. So this is the last market, then I will take questions from you guys and we'll wrap up for the day. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so Africa's largest economy used to be most populous country, rapid urbanization and housing deficit exceed 17 million units. So we're having, if I actually 20 million housing deficit in Nigeria, high informal sector participation, but profit, but a good profit margin. And that's part of the problem in Nigeria, the real estate, is that the informal sector is it's very informal, okay? And it's part of the problem. So a lot of people don't even know how, there's just so much misinformation, there's so much lack of education. So what are the property types? Number one is land banking. Land banking is really one of the best ways to make money in Nigeria. If you look at areas like Ekpe, Bejuleki, Gwarimpa, and so many other places are giving you a good return. Asoko Road 2 in Abuja. No, Lagos is number one, Abuja is number two, Port Harcourt is number three. And there's just so much. It's tough to do land banking because there's so much risk, but it remains the most profitable. There's nowhere else in the world that I know that you can buy a land and in 1 year you can get 300% returns. Only in Nigeria. I know land that I priced in January for 5 million. I went back to buy the same land and they asked me to bring 15 million. And I'm not kidding you. That only happens in Nigeria. That only happens in Nigeria. If you think it's overpriced, they're joking, then you sit there and it's gone. Social media noise does not change the facts, right? And that's also another thing people don't face. You can call me out on social media, drag me, say what you want to say, but that's not, social media is not real world. Okay? So land banking is number one. Number two is off-plan housing. So these are properties you're buying and they've not built it, but they promise to build. You start paying, and then they build, and by the time they are done construction in the house, the value is gone up, and so you are literally enjoying the new price by the time you are taking the keys. We have one of our clients who paid for one of the properties, I think 42 million, 40 something million. By the time we were done 2 years later to give her the key, the value was already 150 million. Yes, something she bought for 40 something million. That it can only happen in Nigeria and off plan. Again, there are risks. It depends on who you are doing with, the integrity of those you are partnering with. Short-term rental for returning diaspora and business travelers, right? So short-term rental, very powerful. And this is very powerful because if you look at short-term rentals, you're able to use Airbnb, you buy a property. Again, this you must be careful. Do it in places like VI, Ikoyi, Ajah, Ikeja, GRA, Magodo, where high net worth people live. Ikeja GRA is even more perfect because people who are going to the airport, some of them will stay in Airbnb, and the rental income is good. But if you go and do short lets in Ajegunle, or Ojuelegba, or Mushin, you're on your own, right? So location is very critical. Commercial properties like office, shopping, areas like VI, Ikoyi, Lekki, Phase 1, Wuse in Abuja. These are very, very great types of real estate opportunities you want to look at. So let's look at the Nigerian opportunities and challenges. Opportunities: land appreciates between 205%, 200 to 500% in 2 to 3 years. You will never find such anywhere else in the world. Low capital requirement compared to developed countries. And no, we don't always emphasize this very well. The only reason why it looks as if land or house is cheaper in the UK or US is because you are not paying all the money. And when you look at even the 30% you are depositing, you and I know that money, when you convert it to Nigerian currency, will get you 2, 3, 4, 5 properties. So we must also be fair with some of our analysis. Low capital requirement compared to developed countries. Rising middle class and diaspora demand. There's a huge demand by those of you in diaspora, those of us in diaspora, and I live in the US. So those of us in diaspora. Challenges. Verification of land titles, it's very tough to verify, and like I said, even the C of O actually is if the official way to now have a lease, because the C of O is for 99 years, which you have to renew after 99 years. So even if the property has C of O, how to verify if you don't have good lawyers, it's difficult to verify. And if you then choose to buy a land without C of O, which is okay, you can buy a land without C of O and then go and process your C of O. That is even one of the ways to buy a land at a cheaper price. And that way, the C of O will be new, because some of us don't face the reality that you're buying a land in Nigeria, and by the time you are getting that land, the C of O may be already 20 years old, 25 years old. So out of the 99 years, you practically have just 65 years left. Sometimes we are not conscious of these things. We're just, C of O, C of O, C of O. Also, you have weak infrastructure, electricity, road, power, limited access to formal mortgage. I wish, if there's one thing that the Nigerian government can do to turn around Nigeria economy, is to institute a very well-structured mortgage system in Nigeria. It will turn, everything around for the nation. I wish this can be done, and I wish this can happen, and it would really turn things around. It will really turn things around. Okay. Let me play this video for you.
Welcome to GTEx Land. Africa's leading land banking and real estate development company, where innovation meets opportunity. At GTextLand, we go beyond just selling land. We're building green and smart estates designed for modern living. From service plots to off-plan housing, we help you invest in the future with flexible options that suit your lifestyle and budget. Our estates feature world-class amenities, including polo grounds, golf courses, gyms, water parks, and smart home features, all designed to promote luxury, comfort, and sustainability. Whether you're looking for a secure investment or your dream home, our properties in Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, and Ogun State offer unmatched value in prime, fast-developing locations. At GTextLand, we're not just selling land. We're building communities, shaping cities, and helping you grow generational wealth. Discover the future with GText Homes, where innovation meets sustainability through green and smart living solutions. Partner with GTextLand, the Rolls-Royce of land banking, offering high return opportunities from 10 to just 5 years with our proven model. Invest smart, live green. Secure your future today with GText. Visit www.gtextland.com or www.gtexthomes.com now. Your legacy begins here.
I don't know if you're excited about G-Text. If you're excited, type I'm excited. So we have different estates over, 30 estates now. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase different things, right? And different locations, and you can take advantage of them. And comparison metrics, strategic investment tips, diversify across regions, right? To manage the risk and optimize the returns. So one of the things, some of you noticed this, that GTEX is very diversified, right? We're in the UK, we're in US, we're in Nigeria. Is one of the biggest strategies when it comes to real estate. Diversify. The key word is diversify. Everybody type diversify. So have something in Dubai, have something in US, have something in Nigeria. Because, and there's a scripture that says, cast your bread on many waters. And if you go over that scripture, you realize how it emphasizes the fact that you don't know which one will work. All right, so be well diversified. This is just the wisdom here. Use US and UK markets for stable income and long-term security, while you use Dubai and Nigerian market for high returns, right? But of course, the fact that they give you high returns also means there's a high chance of risk. Invest in Nigeria land and emerging cities for exponential growth in terms of huge growth. Utilize real estate venture, joint venture, co-investment model available to raise capital, because sometimes you need to start with your own money, but at some point you need to come together as a group, as a team, and start doing investment together. But you must do your own first. If you don't do your own and you start calling team, the team will start giving you rumors. Where are we doing it? Did you hear what they said? Did you hear the story we heard? Did you hear one thing? So if you don't structure well, people will still discourage you, and they will give you gossips and rumors about the company you're trying to invest in until you end up not investing. I remember a lady was in our office earlier this year, and she was saying to me, "So, Dr. Stephen, I wanted to invest with you. When your property was going for 1.5 million. I called my family members. They say, they are scammers. They are this. They don't even know us. And I she decided not to buy. And she want the property move from 1.5 million to 3 million to 5 million to 7 million to 10 million to 15 to now 30 million. And she can't afford it anymore. And so going forward, I don't care what rumor I hear. I don't care what anybody says. If you have a new property, I'm investing. And you must understand that if you're going to do real estate investment, that there's so much of speculation, gossip, and bad news, and people just wanting to convince you don't invest once it's with an African. We already have that problem. So you must be sure what you're doing. You must be sure who you are partnering with. And you must be personally convinced you want to partner with them. Real estate is local, but investment knowledge must be global. Let me say that again. Everybody, can we type this? Real estate is local, but investment knowledge must be global. Can we all type it? Real estate is local, but investment knowledge must be global. In other words, if I'm buying property in US, it's local to US, it's local to Houston. I'm buying property in UK, it's local to London, local to Dubai, local to Nigeria. But I must have a global knowledge so that I know the mix, right? I know the cocktail of what I am doing. Align investments with your long-term goal, passive income, retirement, legacy. Align your investment with your long-term goals, right? Align them with your long-term goals. So I'm buying this land. 20 years from now, I will be 70, right? The value of this land will be worth this. I can sell it and then do this with it. I'm buying this house in Houston. The value will be worth this. Or I'm doing this investment with GTEx. They will be giving me this money every 18 months. In the next 10 years, this is what's going to be worth. So think passive income, think retirement, think legacy, think long term. If you don't think long term, you will never do real estate. If you're thinking money for now, it's CBEX, you put all your money. And when you lose money from CBEX, you still look for who to blame. Always perform due diligence, including legal title search and visibility studies, right? Collaborate with trusted local partners and agents and property lawyers. Very, very important. Yeah, I mean, Ade Suji, it's CBEX, so, how many of you know that the reason why they dragged me about $18,000, some of them were linking the pain of losing money to CBEX, okay, was part of why some people were very angry with me, right? It was the anger they couldn't transfer to CBEX that they were pouring out on me. And as far as I'm concerned, I didn't even know CBEX existed until Farouk, can you tell them to? I'm not able to send messages to everybody. I can only message host or panelists. Can they adjust this, please? Well, those of you asking for email, you can send a mail to product@stephenactel.com. You can email GTEx Holdings. Farouk, if you can drop the GTEx Holdings email so that people have it. Thank you, everybody. I advise you to invest right now, today. Start your investment today. I'm going to take your questions. If you have questions for me, please go ahead. Let me take your questions. I hope you got value. If you got value, type I got value, I got value, I got value. Yeah, so if you can drop people asking for email and all that. So GTEx, you can. Do you have property one can invest in Abuja? Absolutely. There's no part of Nigeria we don't have property you can invest in. I got exposure. I'm happy people are asking. Is GTEx registered with SEC? GTEx has no business being registered with SEC. We're a real estate company, so a real estate company has no business with SEC. However, we have an investment arm. You see what I'm talking about, the ignorance now. Okay? Oh, Lord have mercy. John, when we read, is the reason why disinformation is our biggest problem in Nigeria. So you probably will hear story of a particular company is not registered. That's the investment they are referring to. So virtually all real estate company has an investment arm where you give them money. You are not owning property, you're just giving them money. They use your money to buy property and they give you returns. And so for US, we're US SEC filed company. And then in Nigeria, we're cooperative. And as a cooperative, we have the right, as a member of a cooperative, to gather funds and do investment with those funds and give our members returns. But a real estate company has no business being registered with SEC. I hope I've answered you. What is the biggest mindset to have as an incoming future salary earner who want to delve into real estate locally and internationally? Well, number one, step up your game in terms of your income. You need to start making better income so that you can save some of your money and then invest those money you are saving into real estate investment. Dr. Akita, is it easy to send the slide? I can't send my slide. This is a free class. I don't owe anybody slide in a free class. How can I join your cooperative? Well, I think Mr. Farouk has dropped all the details and you can follow that. We're a registered cooperative. We are governed by the state and in Nigeria, but in the US, we're a SEC filed, syndication. Adekunle Ajayi says, please, is it a good idea to invest in Detroit, US? I mean, you have to do your research. A lot of us. So I remember one of my friends was sharing with me how the sister was to buy a house here in the US. And she just went straight to buy, just based on the fact that her friend also was saying that houses were cheap in that place. And she went ahead, she bought. Less than 1 year later, she was tired. She didn't know anybody. It was tough. She wants to leave the place and move to another place. So the question is, why Detroit? Is it because your cousin is there, your nephew is there? And these are the wrong decisions we make. We just make decision. You need to tell me. So you can't just, because I now tell you Detroit is not good. I mean, I don't have the right to just tell you Detroit is not good. Why Detroit in the first place? Is it sentiment? Is it emotions? Is it because your cousin, your father, your in-law is there? Which is part of the mistakes we always make generally when it comes to investment. Anonymous says, please always put your name. So when you're asking me question, I only take question of those that their name is showing. So I won't take this one. Please, so that I don't lose your question, go to the Q&A section and drop your question there. I'm beginning to lose some questions, right? So go to the Q&A section and drop your questions there, please. There's a Q&A button. Just click on that Q&A button. Drop your question. That way I won't lose anybody's question. Jeremiah says, can I start with GTEx as an intern? Yes, you can. Mr. Farouk, drop your contacts. Let Jeremiah do internship with you. Farouk is a good leader. I'm sure he will mentor you well. Let me see. John says, is your land banking or cooperative? What is the percentage you give for 10 million investment for 10 years? Well, you need to reach out to the team, right? So this is also very important. I no longer run GTEx. I am the founder of the company. I'm proud of what we founded, but the company is now run by the group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz. Then every subsidiary has his own MD. Mr. Farouk here is the MD of GVest, which is a digital cooperative in Nigeria. And then in the US, like I said, we're SEC filed fund in the US. So Mr. Farouk is in a better place He's the MD. It's better place to tell you what you get on 10 million. So I'm sure he has dropped his number and he will give you all that. Some people are saying we should send them recording. I don't owe you recording. Go to YouTube, Dr. S. Akintayo. You see the recording of today's class there. Okay, but please don't drop any number or anything. I don't owe you anything, please. Okay. Yeah, G&A is for those who want to sell for us. So if we give good returns, people who sell property for us, they get good income. Whether you sell our property in UK or US or Dubai, you make a lot of money in dollars. And you can do that with our company. Mr. Farouk will point you to the right direction. Please drop your question in the Q&A section, else I'll be able to cover it. Current serving copper, yes, you're free to invest or come do internship with us. You can even change your PPA to our company. We're open to that. Mr. Farouk has dropped many phone number, email for you guys. Adeshoji says, do you have property in Oshogbo or Osun State? The question is, why should we have property in Osun State? How fast do property appreciate in Oshogbo? All right, and these are some of the things many of us don't look at. We've done a very intense class, and many of us are not taking our time to analyze, why is Dr. Stephen investing where he's investing? So when you ask me a question like Oshogbo, the question is, why Oshogbo? Just the same way I asked the guy Detroit. Why Oshogbo? Do I get better returns in Oshogbo than Lagos? Oh, I should do Oshogbo because I'm from Oshogbo. Right? Our company has more property in Lagos and I'm not from Lagos. We have more property in Abuja and I'm not from Abuja. You must think investment based on returns on investment rather than it being based on where you are from. And that's one of the problems we're having as a country. Everybody just want to invest in their village and go and brag during their festival to say they are the highest investor in their village. There's nothing wrong with that, but do that after you've built massive wealth. Okay? Lolade says, I'm interested in cooperative and the masterclass. Okay, good. Mr. Farouk, is going to reach out to you. You can also chat me personally if you have anything that you think need my own attention. 443-790-3925. The rule of chatting me is you must first state your first and last name, not one name, first, last name, and then go straight to your question, and I will answer it. But like I said, I don't run the company day to day, so I block people when they give me unnecessary stress. I don't run the company day to day. I would link you up with the people who run the company and you can attend to them. And you can reach out to them. That's how we run. How do I introduce my kids to real estate business? They're in school and they run small real estate company. Mentorship. I run a mentorship program and I went viral over it. It used to be $20,000 for a year. Now I've increased it to $25,000. Some people started complaining it's too expensive. What got me upset is that those who paid for it are not complaining because their life has been transformed, right? So I didn't see why people on social media wake up and just want to talk. Gabriel says, what zoning or regulatory changes should investors and developer be watching out for? Gabriel from Freetown. So zoning in what country, right? So you remember we talked about different countries. So it depends on the country. That's what determines the answer to this question. Okay. John says, please, do you have office in Uyo, Akwa Ibom? Again, why should I have office in Uyo? Okay. Does Akwa Ibom give me more returns, more than I would get in Port Harcourt? The answer is no. So again, I'm advising you. Invest based on returns. That's why you are here for this class. Don't invest based on, I want a property in my village. I want a property in my town. Let it be hey, there is better returns in this place. There is higher capital appreciation in this location. Hence, I want to invest in that location. That is the mindset we must all have. If we don't have that mindset, we will not build a great business for ourselves and for the next generation. Okay? So I hope you got value. I hope you learned something new. You can go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, share the link of the channel. Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. Go there. This video is there. So those asking for the link, the video is there. Copy the link, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends and loved ones. I won't always do free webinars like this, but when I do it like this, I love it when we take advantage of it and we use it to educate people, because the level of ignorance in the real estate sector is alarming. And it's so painful that people just run with emotions, with sentiment. Once anybody say, they've scammed you, everybody, yeah, they've scammed us. Oh, we heard they scammed somebody. Yes, they've scammed. Okay. What exactly is the scam about? What really happened? We don't know. But we're ready to go after the bad news. Okay. And I think that has to be worked on. You must be open to knowledge. You must be hungry about quality information like this. How many of you, for example, agree with me that suddenly you have a better understanding of real estate just from this class? If you agree with me, just type I agree, right? You now have a better understanding. You have some sense, so our offices are in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Those are the three offices we have. We don't have office in everywhere. We have estates, right? And we don't believe you need to see us physically to have conversation. This is a whole different era. Okay, it's a whole different era. And if you say I have the mindset of I have to go to a physical office, I don't know what to say. Right? In 247, you can call the office, you can ask all the questions that you have, you can have conversations, right? Thank you, everybody, for being part of today's webinar. I hope you got some value. I hope you're enlightened. I hope some of what you learned today is going to help you into the future and you'll be able to really, and I hope some of you will become our customers, and I really look forward to some of you doing business with us and we having good business relationship together. I look forward to that. I want to also appeal that you respect the organization, reach out to the right people in charge of what, and and work with the team so that you can get the best value. We have an amazing team ready to attend to you. Everything must not be about me, right? Some people will say, I will not do business except Dr. Steven. I don't understand. I don't even run day-to-day of the company. So it's better you have a relationship with those who run the business. I just can't share everything I'm doing, but trust me, the word I can use is where I support the law. Right? In terms of where my mind is, in terms of the kind of things we are beginning to do, we're gone. Okay, gone. So I wish people know that all this $100,000 investment here, $50 million investment here, that's not what is in my head. Though. Okay, my head is gone. Gone. If I don't see B on the side and in dollars, I'm not even thinking it's a business I want to get involved in. We're starting a venture capital company. We're starting a private equity company where I'm going to be buying companies, turn them around. US companies, actually. It's part of why I went to Harvard. Buy companies, turn them around. And so there's so much my mind is going. So Flora says, can I join the company? How many times, Flora, will you ask? I've said yes. Ask Mr. Farouk, who has dropped his number countless of times. God bless you. Have a great day. I leave you in the hands of Mr. Farouk Usman.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Steven. That was wonderful. Please, everyone, just type in thank you, Dr. Steven. Thank you, Dr. Steven. Thank you, Dr. Steven. For those of you asking questions, especially those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, the phone number you can contact, you can reach me directly on +234 701 408 7669. +234 701 408 7669. And you need investment opportunities, you want to make inquiries, you want to join our amiable team of interns and ready to give you the best answers to that. Mr. John, you can also reach out to the phone number I've dropped and you get a lot of information regarding the investments you want to make with us. At the beginning of this webinar, before we round up, I asked a specific question. I asked the question, if you have $50,000, where will you invest in? A lot of people chose Nigeria. Few people chose Dubai. Few people chose US. And I said at the end of today's class, I would like to see your answers again to see perhaps what you've learned in this webinar has changed your perception around that. So Emmanuel Adebayo says Nigeria. I think you said Nigeria before. So please, I don't just respond to that. If you have $50,000 in cash, not in assets, to invest money that you are comfortable with taking investment opportunities wherever. So Mr. Emmanuel says Nigeria. Joy says Nigeria. Who else? Some of you said US, some of you said Dubai. Are you still sticking with that? Or are you investing back in Nigeria? Nigeria. Oh. Nigeria, beg, Dubai, Nigeria. Alice still says Sierra Leone. You must be a patriot, right? Nigeria, of course, Nigeria and US, Sierra Leone. I'll invest in Lagos and Dubai. Rhoda says, changed my mind to Dubai. Matthew said Nigeria. Alice still says Sierra Leone. Well, the good news is that despite what you're investing in, you are sure to have made informed decisions and have wonderful investment choices for you. And we're grateful for Dr. Steven to share a fraction of his words of knowledge. I always say it's a fraction because you can give him 100 hours and we'll still giving you value and value and value and value. And I'm always excited to have him come and change my perspective about global real estate domination because that's the end goal. That's the race, right? Global domination, impact life, allow people to invest through us and say, yes, through Dr. Steven webinar. It started on a day like this. I took my chances. I invested $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. And now, 10 years later, I'm able to build my own real estate empire. I'm able to get rental income. I'm able to start land banking, even reading his books, right? Becoming a land banker, billionaire land banker. I'm able to start this. So again, I'll drop the number for inquiries again and all the contact details. For inquiries about Nigeria, info@gtexhomes.com. For the US, info@gtexhomesusa.com. For Dubai, info@gtexsuites.com. For investments, internship opportunities, you can reach me out on +234 701 408 7669. I'll call it again +234 701 408 7669. And I'll be here to reply. I've gotten some messages already and I'll be replying them. From the team, I want to thank you all for joining this webinar. You can get the recording on Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube, or you can check his Facebook account, Steven Akintayo, as well. And you can also send an email to the team. The technical team may be kind enough to send you the Zoom link. Thank you so much and have a great day, everybody. Technical, are you there?